What's going on, New Gaming Order? This is Alex Lexus Nelson, New Gaming Order staff. Snake is with us today. So I'm trying to rotate and do things a little bit different. Today is Sunday, November 1st. Make sure you fell back 1 hour. Now I wanted to do an impromptu topic of discussion. So before I get started, I wanted to go around the table and start with Brother Noop. Intro before we get started, my man.
Hello everyone, this is your boy Noop 1949. Check out my channel on YouTube, Thumb Thrasher Gaming. Got a nice, interesting podcast for you guys today as I play Halo Warzone.
Okay, cool. Alright, Snake, did he disappear?
He went to go get coffee because he said, oh, there he goes, he's walking.
Alright.
Walking. So yeah.
Okay, Nelson, you give us your intro then.
What's going on, guys? Hopefully we have a successful podcast. Hopefully people come in here and respond to what the topic is at hand. And today is November 1st, the beginning of the month. And what's up, bitches?
Alright. Oh, Nelson, while we're doing this, I don't know, you're still playing Halo, right?
Yeah.
Alright, if you can tweet it or stick this on different formulas, that would be great.
Okay, I will do that, in a second. I will do that.
Alright, no problem. And Snake, thank you for answering the call at last minute notice. But, give us an intro and what games you've been playing.
How's it going, guys? Obviously my name's Snake. I've been playing some Metal Gear Solid 5. It's been pretty fun. It's been pretty good. I played a little bit of Street Fighter 5. I kept getting pissed off that I had to keep fighting other people when I was trying to learn my own character. So,
yeah.
Yeah, that didn't last for too long. It was just like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, Street Fighter 5, Metal Gear Solid 4, and Powerful. Oh yeah, I've been playing a lot of Duelist. It's like it's a Kickstarter card game that just launched a couple of months ago.
Okay. Cool. Alright, so with that, New Gaming Order, I wanted to call this, I wouldn't say an emergency podcast, but just something where now I want to start adopting a system where if there's something hot on the market that we could chat about, hey, jump right into it and do a little show, whoever's available.
Presses, yo?
Yeah, hot off my chest like that one, because there's the freaking Noope. But anyway, New Gaming Order. The topic that I chose for today is there are rumors going around that there's behind the scenes at Sony that it's possible for them to create a more powerful version of the PlayStation 4. Now, I saw a couple other YouTubers, I just wanted to see what they thought about it. Checked out different articles, and I would say this: it would be a horrible idea for Sony to do this, because, and I won't speak for everybody. I'll lay down a foundation. I have my PS4 I'm touching right now, right? I was even reluctant to get that to begin with, and then to go get another one. Now, it's not just a simple, the rumors. It's not just a simple, oh yeah, we're gonna put solid state drives. They're talking about beefing this thing up. It would be a possibility to do such a thing. Now, with the install base that Sony has, it's like, quit while you're ahead. Don't do this because look at what happened to Sega. They cannibalized themselves by releasing system on top of systems. Look at the Saturn, the Dreamcast, the 32X, Sega CD. If history pretty much is a foretelling of how these companies can do something completely jacked up, look at what Sega did. So I wanted to open the floor with Brother Noop and what his thoughts are on this, and then work our way around. So Noop, what are your thoughts on this? Because I think they would split the market with their stuff if they do a PlayStation 4.5, so to speak.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. overall, I don't think it's a good idea for them to do that. At least probably not for a couple years into the console cycle to where it would make sense. Or probably not at all, because I mean they've made, even in the past, they've made improvements from, you know, that same generation of console, but not like one that was like a huge difference. And for you to basically release a new, more beefed up system says to me that the first one wasn't substantial. And then you got to look at price point, you know, where we're gonna be at price wise. On the flip side, I think socially Sony has lost momentum because of the Xbox games lineup. So now let's keep our name, you know, let's keep our name on the table in any way that we can by spreading, which is right now a rumor of something that we're doing to keep people talking about Sony.
Yeah.
Going. That could be it. But honestly, I don't have a PS4 yet, so it would benefit someone like me who doesn't have the system, because I would be getting the best version of it, which is why I tend to wait to get consoles in the first place, because they always do something a year or two after they already release it. So, but yeah, overall, I think it's a bad idea, and some people will feel slapped in the face. And
early
I'm stop
adopters.
there because it brings me back to a point I had in the past, but I'm gonna stop there.
Okay. Snake, what are your thoughts on you know, because right before we went live, we were kind of discussing, you know, yeah, it's not a reality. It's Sony just talking about it. Newgamingorder audience, I just want to make that very clear. We're not saying that, oh, look at Sony's doing this. No, it's just they say it's possible if they wanted to, and if it's a good idea or not. But Snake, what are your thoughts?
Well, you know, I don't know how to feel about it, because I may feel wrong. In me, it's like, hey, might as well just go and do it, because it's like, they're doing it obviously to make money. I mean, I remember when I got my PlayStation Vita, and then they came out, and like in the US, the Vita flopped. It straight up flopped. There's no games for the fucking Vita. Meanwhile, they're making a slim Vita, and it's like, what the fuck?
Why do that? And the other one still wasn't getting the support, you know?
Yeah. PlayStation 4, on the other hand, I kind of just look. PlayStation 4 is awesome. It's amazing. Everyone has a PlayStation 4. I don't know. I'm looking at this like it's the iPhone syndrome. They're gonna go release an upgraded version of the PlayStation 4. No one's going to care to read the statistics on like. Yeah, no one's gonna care to read the statistics on why this how much better this new PlayStation 4 is. Like, just what's the difference exactly? Does it load up the games faster? Is it more slim? Is it more like less heat, more compact, more powerful, and stuff like that? No one's gonna care. They're just gonna get it because it's the next, it's the latest and greatest thing. But I definitely wouldn't worry about oh no, you know, now I have to get the new PlayStation 4 because, you know, I can't play my old games or something like that on the older versions. But I just think it's just a fancy version. But yeah, I agree with Rob. I guess it's gonna be cool for people that don't even own a PlayStation 4 to jump on that and get it.
But the early adopters, let's say, and you know, studios are always like this. They want to push the console that they're working on, right? They want to do, you know, they want to see their creative vision without any shortcomings, so to speak. They don't want to trim anything out. Like, unfortunately, 343 had to make a lot of concessions for Halo 5, I'm sorry. So, keeping that in mind, like, what's to stop a studio, and this is, you know, a rhetorical thing before I give the floor to Nelson, what's to stop a studio for saying, oh, gee, now we had a Lamborghini, now we have a Bugatti, let's see how far we can push this thing. And then the other version of the console could get left behind. Nintendo, didn't they have something going on with the DS, or they had a more powerful version of the DS, and you can only run certain games on that particular platform as opposed to the lesser grade? You can't do that to the early adopters, you know, because it's just, man, they're the reason why Sony is successful right now. So imagine how catastrophic that could be if it's like, oh really, you guys did this? I mean, it could smack them in the face. But then somebody did say on another show that it's like the iPhone thing, like you have to be up on the latest stuff. Now, my thing is, and Sony fanboys, please don't take this. as an insult, but if you already have a PS4 and it's doing what it's supposed to do, and you go and buy a more powerful version, you're stupid, freaking moronic, stupid. Because why would you waste that? I see that as a waste. It's already playing games 1080p, but I know Sony. They were struggling to keep. Okay, yeah, the cost for 1080p all the time comes at performance issues. So this is kind of what also played a part in what probably birthed these discussions behind the scenes. But with that, Nelson, what are your thoughts on Sony saying that it's a possibility to create a more powerful PS4?
Well, again, this is not the first time this has happened. We also had the PlayStation 3, which had a powerful processor, more RAM, and more storage at the time. I think it was a 500 gig Super PlayStation 3. So this is not the first time we're hearing of this. They always update the console's motherboards, their disk drives, or certain things. You know, like the 360 had more than 7 different disk drives with Samsung, Toshiba, Hitachi, all that shit.
Yeah, the incremental things are one thing. We're talking about
We're talking
adding
about
power, a boost to the system.
This is what I would say, my honest to God opinion. I don't mind this actually happening because there will be consumers where it would, convince them to get something that will be better for them in the long run, because you never know. It might be a little bit more stress to update the firmware by doing a software update continuously to up the GPU to the fullest potential or overclock the system than rather getting a full, more powerful thing. Now, if I was able to trade in my PlayStation 4 that I have currently and not pay for anything and be an instant swap out, I'm game. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm all for it. But if you're making me put the console up for sale and I only get $50 and I have to pay another $300 again, then go fuck yourself.
Happen.
Yeah,
I'm not ready for that.
Now, that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. For the early adopters and that already major user base, right? If they had a trade-in system, that would be the best thing to do. Think about it. I mean, that's the only way that they could make it right if they were to go this route. But again, it's just talks, and I'm not even gonna try and say that man's name because other folks have fucked it up. But the head.
It's hard to decide whether if it will be a trading system, because the only legit trading system that we can get it from is from a Sony store. If we get it from GameStop or whatever, they're only thinking for themselves. They're not really going to get a good deal.
Okay. I mean, overall, I would just say it would be wise for Sony to look at Sega and Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo's about to make that mistake with the NX, abandoning ship with the Wii U and whatnot. So, again, without beating a dead horse and talking about Nintendo too much, but if the NX fails, outside of Nintendo's poor strategy, so to speak, to identify themselves in this ever-changing gaming industry, I think one thing that could hurt the NX could be the fact that it's being released mid-cycle. You know what I mean? It would be bad for Sony to do that, and being that they're faring so well. So it's just something that these guys have to really. I think they're in a good place. They should just run with what they got. Microsoft is doing it, unless they go with a Xbox Slim or something. But these companies got to understand that.
But now let me ask you a question though. Why do you think that the rumor, if it is true, why do you think that they're doing a more powerful version of the console? Are they afraid that the X1 has surpassed them in a way that not even us knowing?
Well, that's the thing. Remember when they were talking about the whole cloud computing and all that? Maybe, like you said, they might have found something, or they got some intel that, hey, you know what? Microsoft's payoff might be coming. You know what I mean? And they're trying to, mount their troops or their hardware to offset that. But again, the thing that could shoot Microsoft in the foot is not everybody, like Free Play Mo says, has that internet to accommodate that. But potentially, if that cloud computing does work, imagine that's like some Patara rings for and making a Vegito with the internet and the console, But again, I don't think it's practical. But Sony probably knows something we don't,
I'd like to add something to this.
Okay.
Too. They say the console's going to be more powerful, and I keep wanting to look on the bright side. Like, every time I keep hearing, like, the console's going to be more powerful, I keep thinking to myself, oh, the PlayStation 4 can run at 60 frames per second, right? I'm thinking to myself, oh, maybe this new console will help improve that. It'll make it run better at 60 frames per second. But, like, that's like, I just want to, like, warn you guys, don't go thinking, like, your games are going to run more stable and stuff. I think a perfect example of this will be Before Dawn. The PlayStation 4 is more than capable of running Before Dawn. But the way the game's actually designed, it's run like there's scenes where it runs at like 23 frames per second and stuff like that. There are like ginormous frame drops.
And that's the problem. That's the limit. Yeah, and Sony has to be.
It's not the console. It's the game itself.
Yeah. Now here's the thing too. Now if this new system, let's say they do this, right? The games that were already created, right? How are they gonna utilize that power if they're built off an old SDK? So anything like from a certain point on, if they were to go this route, would see all the benefits of that more powerful console, possibly running at 4K or what have you, but it doesn't do any service to older games. Look at what the backwards compatibility on the X1 that's coming out in 13 days. You got to look at, hey, is it going to make the games look any better? No. The older ones, no, because they were already built. So, with that being said, it's just, I don't know. It remains to be seen, but I just think it's a bad move because I've seen, like, Sega would still be around had they not been so overzealous. You know what I mean? Like, with releasing stuff back to back to back. Like, the Saturn should have had more time to breathe. But even with that, when you rush things or you're trying to really get at your competitor, sometimes you just, like, I use the analogy with martial arts, don't rush a technique. Let an opportunity come to you, because if you're sitting there trying to force something that's not there, hey, you might allow the enemy to get you. So I just think that overall, I think they got to be careful. But then again, it's Sony. People got Sony on the brain, so it's like they could do no wrong. So,
Alex, you don't know what you're talking about. It's the latest and greatest thing. The PlayStation 4 is gonna sweep the nation. It's gonna be the greatest thing ever.
This brings me back to a point that Nelson and I have been saying about console gaming being, well, I don't think it's dead yet, but I think this is why computer gaming will take over. I think about it within the next three cycles. And I mean, dude, the signs are there. You look at things like Steam, where they have these insane sales. Yep. Then you look at a gaming PC. Once you spend the money, I mean, and you build a good gaming PC, you are legitimately good. Mm-hmm. Why am I buying a console and 2 years later the same console is being re-released but more powerful? That's like when they come out with new CPUs and
greed.
GPUs
It's
type
greed.
Stuff.
It's greed.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I might as well get a gaming PC if y'all gonna do this. Why do I have to buy another box to get the latest and greatest? And beyond that, it says to me also that these consoles weren't ready. If we look at some of the struggles that they've been having and barely getting games to run and this and that and the third, it makes me feel like you guys aren't ready. You wanted to launch before the other guy. You wanted to be the first one in on the next generation. Mm-hmm. All well and dandy. Now you're considering, because we don't know if it's true, but now you're considering replacing the very console you just released. What was these things? 3 years old?
2 years. 2 years.
They're only 2 years old, and there's rumors floating about you basically making a more powerful one. And the only reason to make a more powerful PlayStation 4 is because the one that's out now is not substantial and not what y'all originally envisioned. That's the only thing I can think of, especially this short into the cycle.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go as far as to think that. I really just genuinely think that they just released a PlayStation. I seriously think Sony released the PlayStation 4, looked at the sales, looked at the statistics. Like, generally what I keep seeing with like when a console comes out, people will have complaints about it. Oh, the console's too loud. It sounds like a freaking jet turbine engine. It produces too much heat. I hate this about it. Someone will bitch. I tried to turn my console off, but instead I accidentally hit the eject button instead and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think they take all those things into consideration and release a console sooner. Now I can understand that I can understand where people will be nettled with the fact that it's been a 2-year period and they're already releasing a new one. But honestly, I think it's just like, hey, people like new things, and this newer console, the PlayStation 4, I don't know what the complaints are for the PlayStation 4, right? But I think I strongly do feel that all the complaints for the old PlayStation 4 will be addressed in this one.
Yeah, that's
So,
if they do it.
Yeah. Personally, I'd love to see this new PlayStation 4 and would love to see a comparison of the two and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, generally when Sony tends to upgrade anything, whether it be a handheld console or an actual console and stuff, they actually do upgrade it. I'm not gonna try to shoot like pop.
No, I get you. I agree with you.
I'm just trying to say though, like Xbox 360. Like, don't quote me on this. I'm just using this as an example. I have the latest Xbox 360 right now. There was one version where it had like, we'll say 5 USB ports, and this one has 4 USB ports. That's not true. But I know like that's for a fact. One has less USB ports than the other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the very very bright side, I mean, it's gonna. I feel like I'm like contradicting myself here when I say this. Like I said that the PlayStation Vita freaking flopped. Like there's no games in the US. It's successful over in Japan, but it's not successful over here. On the very bright side, at least like you're like safe on the PlayStation 4 side. Like you don't have to worry about it. Like it being like the Ouya. Like the Ouya was supposed to be like the greatest thing ever, but it took too long to make. So when it finally came out, everyone has like surpassed the Ouya.
It was stuck in its development web, so to speak.
Yeah, development hell or something like that. That was the sad thing with the Ouya. It was supposed to be great. It was supposed to be the next greatest thing. Indie games. Game developers that wanted to make their own games were supposed to be able to come over to the Ouya. But the biggest fucking problem with it is by the time the Ouya fucking came out, everything else was just better than the Ouya.
But that happened to the X1 and the PS4. It's like, okay, at the time they were being developed, they were ahead of their time, but then the computers already caught up. So
okay, so here's the thing with the computer. I mean, I'm a PC gamer myself, right? I'm looking to my right here. I got a powerful ass PC. Okay, I'm renegade PC for life, right? The biggest problem, the biggest flaw with the computer is like I'll just be fucking sitting down in my chair, and they'll be like, oh, check out this new game. Well, I'll use Before Dawn in this example, even though I don't really care too much about Before Dawn. Before Dawn, oh, looks like a cool game, huh? Well, it looks like I can't play it on my fucking PC because it's like PlayStation, Xbox 360. They're console exclusives. Generally, when a game comes out, I get so hyped for it. I'm just like, oh man, please come out for PC, and it comes out. Like if they made Jak and Daxter 5 or something. Wait, I mean, there's 3 Jak and Daxter games, and then there's like the other versions without a number increase on it. But let's just say they made Jak and Daxter 4. There's no way that shit's fucking coming out on PC.
That's the thing with the console stuff. Like they have those games that keep them afloat, like Nintendo, and their franchises.
But Kingdom Hearts, I was just gonna say Kingdom Hearts. That's a game I want to fucking play. I want to play the shit out of Kingdom Hearts 3. Well, guess what? PlayStation 4.
Well, you know what? I'll just wait. I'll talk about that offline because PC folks may. I'm not condoning anything here, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. But in closing, I just also wanted to address something that Nuke brought up. At some point, okay, you have these Steam machines and whatnot. At some point, do you think Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo should go with upgradable parts for the consoles? Now, I don't want this to run too long. I just want to say here, yay or nay, some pros and cons, and then we'll start wrapping up. So, Nuke, what are your thoughts on that? because this way it would
no.
take away the need for them to come up with a whole new console and making you pay for this stuff.
Upgradable parts.
Yeah, so I wanted to give Noop. Yeah, I'm giving Noop the floor first, and then Nelson. But yeah, Noop, your thoughts?
It depends on what parts you're talking about. I mean, pros, the console lifespan will be extended, and you'll still have the plug and play ability with exchangeable parts to upgrade. On the downside, it depends on pricing and stuff like that, because if that's the case, then I might as well get a gaming PC. Yeah, I mean, no matter what console or format you choose to game on, you're gonna miss out on titles. That's a given. I mean, we see that, we know that. You're gonna miss out on titles, you're gonna miss out on content. But my thing is this, value for money. Like, I love Xbox and PlayStation, but if there's only 5 or 6 franchise titles, is that worth it? You know, when I can get a majority of the same games on PC, and PC has their own exclusive stuff, but I think more stuff is going to begin coming on PC. I think that, I mean, we're seeing it now. Like, I believe Halo's going to come to PC.
Yeah. They almost confirmed Halo 5 for PC. So
I haven't seen a Halo game for PC since Halo 2.
yeah, Halo 2 and yeah. But hey, Noob, you still there? Oh, your mic.
Yeah, sorry, my controller cut out. Yeah, but no, I was done though.
All right. Nelson, what are your thoughts?
Well, in my honest opinion, if they have upgradable parts, that wouldn't really be an issue, but they will have to make it so that it's seamless and not like a struggling point where we have to go to like a Sony store to get it installed, or have to pay a certain fee for the upgradable parts and so on. But the way how I see it, man, like, all seriousness, if you guys are gonna make an updated console and you know it's gonna be like the standard for the consumer to buy, you should allow a one-time trade-in system. One customer to bring in one console for a free upgrade, no charge. And if we bring in anything further, then charge us. That's what you should do. But don't force it upon us to buy a whole nother $300 or $400 fucking console. I mean, that would suck.
Yeah, because money don't grow on trees, man. And this is all right. And then quickly, Snake, so we can wrap up, your thoughts on possible, if they do upgradable parts for consoles to avoid having to buy a new system altogether.
I'm just gonna speak on. I'm gonna speak on behalf of the majority of people when I say this. I'm not gonna express my like. This is just how I feel about it, especially for a console. No, I would not want upgradable parts and stuff like that, because most people who get consoles they want to get it, they want it to work out the box, they want it to be the latest and greatest thing, and that be the end of it. They don't want to have to worry about upgrading the parts and stuff like that. Because if that was the case, if people didn't mind that shit, they would all have PCs. Everyone would be playing on a fucking computer, man.
Okay, fair enough. All right, good points, everybody. So in closing, New Gaming Order, leave your comments below, because this is mainly for the YouTube. But rate, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Newgamingorder.com for the latest and greatest. And again, we're going to be doing more individual topics to kind of, shake things up a little bit. All right, I want to thank Snake, Brother Noop, and co-CEO, co-producer Delson Del Rio. Oh, yeah. And to those who are listening to this on Nelson's stream, check out the video once it goes to YouTube. And shout out to NYC Playboy Full Screen for partnering with us. And I want to apologize to our audience for me and the fuck up with the website and the channels. Most of the videos,
it's been fully restored to,
except for one video. I got to get the Comic-Con Street Fighter 5 panel reproduced and put up. So again, I was spread kind of thin, and I apologize for that. But just know my heart was in the right place. I was trying to fix something, and then
we're fucking human, people.
Yeah, so it's what it is. I have to delegate more because I'm taking too much on myself. But with that, rate, comments, and subscribe. We out like the Juggernaut bitch, and we'll see you guys throughout the week during our broadcast. Peace.